What is up, everybody? Finally back onto this project. If you watched my other videos, we just finished up that 4440 restoration, so that's been taking most of my time, but it's time for this to go back in there. Was working on it over the weekend. Went to put the old exhaust manifold on and the bolts were nowhere near lining up. The thing was warped like a banana. But it was nothing that another 800 bucks couldn't fix. New manifold, and I see they put these stiffeners in between the ports, so obviously that was a problem. But just got that torqued up on there. It's getting really close. All I got to do is put injection lines back on, hook up various hoses, and then put the new turbo on it, pressure, prime it with oil. I put new thermostats in it. This water pump's been changed in the past, but I don't like the way it sounds. So, new water pump. It's just, forgive me for the fan noise, but it has been so freaking hot. It's the 5th of August today, I think. A real feel of like 100 degrees. Super freaking humid out, like you can chew the damn air. It's I hate hot and humid like this. All right. Anybody got money in the stock market? Not a very good day. I looked at my Fidelity account and I was kind of regretting looking at that today. Says that water pump is made in England. Let's see where the new one's made. This world is definitely on edge anymore. Slightest news and drastic things that can happen. Sorry, I'm probably blocking you guys. It would just be great if there was some normalcy that would come back to everything, but pretty sure that's kind of just wishful thinking. So that one is made in England. I was figuring it was going to say China. Made in Italy. They switched from a metal impeller to plastic. Okay. Book said 27 Newton meters. I'm gonna have to adjust that when I put the alternator on, so. Now that sounds nice. Real nice. When you change thermostats on one of these, I always mark exactly where that housing was. Because there's a little bit of play that you can twist this thing, and if you don't get it just right, it changes the alignment on this and the belt will walk off. Been there, done that. With the kind of heat that we've been having, I'm thinking fall is gonna be early. I think we're ahead of last year probably by, I don't know, a week maybe on heat units right now. I've got quite a bit of early corn. So I'll definitely be combining in September. Looks like we are going to have pretty darn good crops as of right now. Gonna need them. Sometimes when the stock market crashes, the grain market goes up. Investors decide to go back into boring grain, but I don't know. This whole farming thing anymore is kind of a joke. We tend to overproduce worldwide over what the demand is anymore. And then you got South America. It's the same 27 Newton meters. You know, mowing everything down like the rainforest to plant more corn and soybeans. And you know, China seems to like buying it from them better than us. So really every year, the only thing that U.S. farmers can hope for is that South America has some sort of major crop disaster. And all the new technology And genetics and corn and beans, they seem to handle, weather stress better. And it's just, if you owned your own land, say it was passed down from generation to generation, you own 500, 600 acres, free and clear, whatever, you're going to make money, But the way the margins are, the costs of everything, and the competitiveness with, having to rent all your land and compete with other farmers, some of which are complete morons, that'll just bid through the roof to say they got a farm, even though they're going to lose money on it. It's just kind of dumb. The amount of risk versus the reward. So it's touch and go on farming here in the way my farm works, but everybody has their own situation and their own diversification on different things that they may do besides farming. But from a business standpoint, or like a risk versus reward, I mean, farming's an awesome, sorry guys, holy cow, farming's an awesome occupation. I mean, I absolutely love farming, but it's not what it used to be by any means. And the big farmers keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's kind of turning towards corporate ag, and they get better deals on all the inputs because they have buying so much. Same with equipment, and they're just farming a big bucket of ground, to try to make this much per acre, whereas I'm farming a smaller amount and I need to make, this much. It's just the way it is. So, all right, this is all tied up. I'm going to throw fuel lines on it, throw the turbo on it, give her the old psh, psh, and we'll slam her back in. All right, she's all assembled and psh, psh, ready to go back in there. But before I do that, see this auxiliary starter solenoid that Steiger decided to bury in the frame rail? I'm going to take the blowgun and blow all that dirt out of there. And I'm just going to do the smart thing and replace that while the motor's out. So, bring it back. Alright, I'm finally back on this thing. It's been weeks, but probably wondering why it's in there. And the pump's back off and the front cover's off. I got it all in there, and then I started thinking about it. When I changed all the piston sleeves, bearings, all that, I left the front cover on because this cover had been resealed in the past and it wasn't leaking. And I didn't want to mess with it, but then I got to thinking everything else is new. Cylinder head, turbo, sleeves, pistons, bearings, injectors, water pump, engine oil pump, 8,000 hours or so on it. So before I put the radiator and everything in, I decided to pull the front cover to change the oil pump. And the only other thing that I hadn't done was the injection pump. I didn't know if it had been I'm sure it had been rebuilt, but I didn't know at what point it had to been before me. So I took the pump off also and sent it off, and I'm glad I did. It had some governor issues like most of these Bosch pumps do, and I don't know, they just went through it and rebuilt what needed to be rebuilt. So I've been waiting for that. Just got that back yesterday. Got my new seal, front seal put in. Just used that and put the wear sleeve on. Just gotta remember to use some of that retaining compound, but wear sleeves on. New. It does not take a lot of wear in these G rotor pumps or whatever. It's like the same pump that's on a 7.3 Power Stroke, but all it takes is the slightest a bit of clearance gone there and they don't pump good anymore. So I'm gonna pre-lube this, get the pump put on. It comes with a new I don't remember what they call that, pressure regulating valve, whatnot. That goes. Take this plug out of the engine oil cooler, and there's a spring and whatnot. But I am going to put this on, then I'll put the injection pump on, and we'll throw the front cover on, and then hopefully we can fire this thing up, because I don't know what the date is today, August 20 something. It's freaking hot out, and next week is supposed to be incredibly hot, like real feel of over 100. I'm gonna be combining corn early this year, probably mid-September if I had a bet. So this biatch needs to get done. All right, on these inline pumps, when you put them back on, make sure the shaft out of the end of the pump is really clean. Clean it up, brake cleaner or whatever, and clean up this gear. It doesn't matter, this gear doesn't time anything because it's running off your cam that's timed off the crank right there. But so you've got timing pin right here pushed in, and then the pump is locked. Take this cap off, and there's a little plastic thing that you flip around and put the other way to unlock the pump. But get the pump up on there. It's just sitting on here loose right now. But get your mounting bolts for the pump tightened up. Then just tighten this nut like slightly, like 20 foot-pounds. There's no key. This is just a resistance fit. So just tighten it up to where it shouldn't move. The pump shouldn't move inside it when you really tighten it. But snug it up. Then pop this timing pin out. Pop that timing pin out. And then go to your full torque here. Otherwise, if it tries rotating the motor, you'll snap this little plastic tit off in there, and you'll snap this little plastic thing off in the governor housing. Ask me how I know. Alright, front timing covers back on, balancers on. If you have one of these Bosch pumps rebuilt, or you get a reman, once you get it all on, I recommend taking this top plug out and pre-filling it with some engine oil, because it takes a while for it to fill up with oil when they're empty, because it only gets oil through a tiny little little hole through the inner timing cover, so don't want to destroy your new pump right out of the gate. But the engine got pressure lubed before I put it in, pressure primed with oil, and I pumped and pumped on that fuel prime pump. I've got one injector line loose, so I'll set the camera up and we'll see if this thing will run. Just want to make sure it runs all right before I take all the time to put this big old honking hood back on and the radiator. So we won't run it long, but see if she'll start. Here we go. Say a prayer. Forgot I had an injector line loose, and the AC compressor just freaked me out when it flopped over. No big deal. It frickin' runs. 70 pounds of oil pressure. I don't see anything spewing on the ground yet. Awesome. Oh, that makes you feel good. Well, I guess I'll put the hood back on and put the radiator in it, fill it up with coolant, and then get this thing hooked up to the grain cart. I need to still put some steering pins and bushings in it, and the brake master cylinder, but we just won a large part of the battle the way it looks. So I think I'll end this video here. It's got clips that have been going on for over a month now since I did another video on it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good day.